A hearty hello and welcome to you to a frigid Raleigh, North Carolina. This is NC State Lacrosse on PackTV as the Wolfpack prepare to host the Central Florida Knights on what is proving to be an absolutely frigid evening here in the city of Oaks. Hi there, everybody. I'm Drew Blevins alongside Brett Galt. Brett, glad to be back out here covering lacrosse, but let me tell you something, it's going to be a cold one.
Yeah, it's freezing right now. We got, with the wind and everything, it's about in the teens right now, about 20 or so, and so you got a team from all the way from Central Florida that is probably not used to this weather, so it should be an interesting one.
70 to 80 degrees in Orlando. That seems to be a daily temperature in one of the lands of paradise in these United States. NC State has the opening faceoff, and immediately they go to work with Bailey Quinn running the ball back behind the net. NC State's in the white uniforms, the silver numericals, the red outline, and the red trim. Many of them wearing long pants or some form of leggings. The actual temperature here is hovering right around 37 degrees Fahrenheit, well below the average for this time of year in Raleigh. NC State will work the far side of the field. Central Florida countering in the black uniforms and the gold numericals.
It'd be interesting if fatigue plays a part for Central Florida, as they just had a game against Elon yesterday, so we'll see if that comes into play later on in this match.
Central Florida is 1-1 entering this contest. As you mentioned, a loss to Elon last night. Ground ball and turned over immediately, taken back the opposite direction by Rylan Cordes. Cordes is one of those excellent offensive players in SELC play. Nicely defended here as Cody Stanford's all over him, and he'll be forced to flush it back out. NC State, a team that likes to pass the ball around the perimeter. We'll see if Central Florida is going to take a lot of the same strategy. This has been a quick strike offense. A lot of it revolves around what Cordes can do. Back up to the top, this is Andrew Meldrum. Back up top for Meldrum. He'll hold and walk to the side. Central Florida still getting a feel for positioning here. Much tighter offense than NC State has. Cordes up at the top. Deke shoots, rang it off the crossbars. It pops sky high and off the end line. He was a quarter inch from having the game's opening goal on Parker Staton, the sophomore goaltender for NC State.
What a goal that would have been. It's about an inch or two off for going in the net.
Right back toward the front, just high and wide. Chase back off the end line, and NC State's going to get the ball. Staton will scoop it up for the Wolfpack. As away comes NC State. Fairly free entry into the zone for the Wolfpack. I'll send it across for David Pryor, a freshman on this team. Pryor coming from Raleigh, North Carolina. Native of the city of Oaks. Worked up the top here, Davis. Sends it down low. NC State will work perimeter again. All the way around to the outside. And you'll see this very methodical passing from NC State as Melton gets it. They'll work perimeter. It's not an isolation offense for NC State. Here's a quick shot well wide. But, Brett, you really do get to see how spread out NC State likes to play their style of game, and that's something that Chris Demarest really has instituted, even since being an assistant coach. Chip Thurston leaving at the end of last year, and Demarest slides right into the head coaching role.
He's all about possession at first, and then they're going to try to spread you out a little bit, and then try to take the shot, kind of like Barcelona does in soccer.
It's another good defensive stick from Central Florida as the Knights bring it across midfield, and their turn to possess. Back up to the top. They'll establish possession with Ian Lucas. To the side of the net. Held here by Gray. Back around the perimeter. They'll find Lucas again. Lucas to Andrew Meldrum. Meldrum finds Gray. He'll step back up to the top. You can already see Central Florida already throwing a lot of players down in toward the net. Running two guys high, and guys low aren't particularly spread. Flag flies here as we'll see the first penalty of the game. Should go against NC State as they scoop it up right up on the wrists. And indeed, that's what the call will be. Man advantage coming here for Central Florida, the first of the game. critical opportunity here for Central Florida as well. You do not want to play from behind against the NC State Wolfpack.
No, not with the kind of attack NC State has. You want to try to get all the points you can in the early going and try to get ahead and then make NC State come from behind.
I mean, certainly the West Virginia Mountaineers were no Central Florida Knights, but you really did get to see NC State's offense flex its muscles. 18 goals in that one. Off the goalpost again. NC State has the loose ball in and out of a couple of crossheads as it's picked back up by the Wolfpack. Ground ball in open space. Hack and whack time. And it'll be NC State's ball.
Already a couple big breaks there for NC State, too. Balls that have gone right off the post for UCF. Could have been 2-0 easily here in the early going.
Devin Johnson, the junior midfielder from Charlotte, who ran the ball ahead of midfield. Tanner Hudson runs back around. Hudson sends it across the way once again, and here goes NC State establishing the perimeter as they like to do. Nick Davis runs his way in, shoots one, scores! Davis fires a one-hopper and scores, and NC State draws first blood.
We're talking about that, how they spread you out, and then Davis just take control, went up the seam, and then a first goal for NC State, and that's got to be so deflating for Central Florida after having two good opportunities and then being down 1-0 here.
Well, the silver lining for the Knights in this case is they've had the better scoring opportunities, and they've had more scoring opportunities than NC State has. It's just a matter of capitalization. So far, mere inches away in the iron unkind. Also going on in Central Florida athletics this evening, the men's basketball team is hosting Colorado in Orlando in the first round of the National Invitation Tournament. It's amazing when you look all across the nation and you think of ACC basketball leading the way, and NC State is in no form of postseason play, not even 500 overall in their record this season. But Central Florida's in the NIT, continually trying to build that basketball program.
A big guy named Taco, I believe. He's about 7'4" or something like that. If you ever seen him play, it's definitely an interesting sight to see.
It's like playing Goliath, Taco Fall.
Yep.
Central Florida will get to establish possession here. Tyler Baggett sends it down low. Gray behind the net. Rolls it around as Central Florida got a little closer to the cage that time. Stepping in here is Cordes. He is absolutely hound dogged as he has to get it out of his crosshead and quickly flicked around. Good movement so far. Chance toward the front of the net. They'll head back out toward Rylan Cordes. Cordes, he's free looking for the shot. He fires, he scores for the equalizer. Cordes goes right upstairs on Parker Staten, 1-1.
Good physical play there by Cordes. He was bodied pretty much the whole way, but somehow got a shot off, and all of a sudden UCF equalizes. Another big goal for UCF.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered for Central Florida. UCF and NC State have met before in previous athletic events. The most recent, perhaps, would be the football bowl game that took place 3 years ago now. The Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. Tampa Bay. NC State won that one by a touchdown. Face off at midfield. Ball being set carefully. Whistle blows and away we go. NC State's going to get called for kicking the crosshead. Central Florida takes possession. Cordes goes all the way back out to the top as UCF's going to get the lineup they want out there for offense. Flown right back down. Ryan Gray. Back up to the top, around for Cordes. A low shot. Staten collects it nicely. A good stop by the NC State goalkeeper. Now NC State's got to find a way to get out of their defensive zone. Good pressure being applied by Andrew Meldrum, who's staying forward. Staten directing traffic. He's walked it a good 25 feet out of his net. Long all the way down to the other end and easily fielded by the netbinder for Central Florida. So a free possession coming for UCF.
That's that good pressure by UCF caused that turnover right there.
That's just not something that NC State wanted to do in that case.
It's just pretty much a giveaway right there.
Still early first quarter. 1-1 the score between Central Florida and NC State. Meldrum walks in, gives across to Gray. Deeks in, he shoots, he scores! Oh, baby, what a goal! Absolutely unbelievable play. Right to the side of the net, they score. Central Florida has a 2-1 lead.
I mean, that's just kind of big breakdown by NC State. They give the ball away, and then UCF just capitalizes. Really, nobody stepped to him right there. It was kind of interesting.
You want to talk about the will to win. Just watch Ryan Gray drive the near side goalpost to score. And now you've got to keep an eye on the goal scorer far side as Gray walks off gingerly. I'm not sure if he got slammed into the post or if he got slammed by an NC State defender's body. Good to see him getting off under his own power at least. Johannes Karnodl will take the faceoff for NC State. That's got to be one of the most fun names to say in all of NC State athletics.
Yeah, I'm glad you're saying it, not me.
Karnodl, only a freshman from Burlington, trying to force his way to a win on the ground ball. Good body positioning, but it rolls around again. Central Florida had it, lost it. NC State opposite direction. The Wolfpack's turn looking to tie. And they'll establish possession back behind the net. A lot of those NC State Wolfpackers, while they are Carolina boys and used to 4 seasons, not used to south of 40-degree weather in March, you see the entire attacking core of NC State in the gray sweatpants. And, Brett, can you blame them?
No. I mean, we're all bundled up right here. We just went to go get some hot chocolate before this match.
That's a story all into itself, mind you.
Oh, yeah. We would have to take
To
up
the front, a good shot and a good stop.
Take up a whole period for that one. Oh, big hit.
Daniel Harris in the cage for Central Florida. Good stop, but NC State gets it right back. Clayton Blackwelder sends it down low for the Wolfpack. Blackwelder was one of our most recent guests on PackTV's podcast, The Howlers. We got a full look at what's coming up for the lacrosse team here at North Carolina State. Interesting young man who claims that his celebrity crush is Scarlett Johansson.
It's not a bad celebrity crush.
Up to the top. Back for Blackwelder. He'll walk looking for a little bit of help. Sends it back behind the cage once again. Tanner Hudson, the sophomore, rolling around with it. Stops at a dime, shoots, loose ball, just wide of the net, picked up. And a crease violation is called immediately by the official. Down by the net. I'm almost positive Daniel Harris got something onto that ball before it crossed the line. Of course, it wouldn't have mattered as NC State had their players stationed in the goal crease. Central Florida trying to get it ahead of the line. They do on a solid pass forward. Florida will set things up. Central Florida, that is. Have to be very, very careful with these directional schools, especially in the larger states like Florida. Central Florida, South Florida, North Florida. Florida Atlantic, Florida International.
Florida Gulf Coast.
Florida Gulf Coast in the NCAA tournament. Of course, Florida State and the University of Florida, both of whom are ranked or receiving votes in the MCLA polls. Outside post and back up to the top. Tyler Baggett walks in. Baggett looking for a shot. Nicely defended. NC State double teaming the ball as they got inside at 10 feet. Is Baggett rolling off of his man nicely. An excellent individual effort. Finds Matthew Apple, who works his way forward. Apple in a little bit of trouble as Central Florida goes down by the near side post once again. Rylan Cordes, who has a goal already. Cordes, a native of Oviedo, Florida. Sidesteps his man. Cuts himself free. Loses the ball. Trying to pick it back up. It's a free-for-all. NC State picks it up. Turned over by Central Florida. Ahead to the LSM. It's dropped. Another ground ball. NC State onto it. They've got it. Quickly ahead of the line, all sorts of defensive pressure. Excellent speed shown by Devin Johnson, the junior midfielder. State will establish possession. Michael Sullivan in the 30 uniform. You see him rolling here. Well defended, right up onto him was Zach Price. Price still following the ball. All the way around to the perimeter passing. Back up top as Tanner Hudson goes across the way for Davis, who has NC State's lone goal. Davis has it again. Good passing by NC State, but still a long way away from a scoring area. Finally run in. Here's a shot. A bouncer goes wide. Back beyond the end line. Turned over. Central Florida takes over. For NC State, you see just how critical it is to being able to take those shots and find a way to put them on net.
That's all they really need right now. We're not seeing them space out as much as they usually do. And I don't know if the cold has to come to play to that or...
Well, so far, NC State just hasn't had the positional game that they're used to having.
You're usually seeing it the opposite. Usually NC State has all the possession, and the opponent usually is the one trying to chase for the ball, but it's been the complete opposite so far here.
Well, you wondered if UCF was going to be a little jet-lagged after their contest last night against Elon in the losing effort, and so far, they've controlled time of possession, thusly have the lead.
For those of you wondering, UCF is on their spring break right now. That's why they're down here, or up here, excuse me.
Good stop from Parker Staten on the side angle shot, and NC State will take over. Flown ahead. State scoops it up. Quickly moving forward is Cullen Bean. Bean loses possession, taken back here by the Knights. Central Florida will set things up. You gotta love that the Knights really aren't in a ton of hurry mode.
And they have no reason to be either. I mean, they're one with the lead right now. They've pretty much dominated possession in every aspect of this game so far. I wouldn't be in any hurry either.
Mishandled momentarily by Meldrum, but he picks it back up, and Central Florida goes right back to executing their offense.
If you really think about it, this game could easily be 4-1 right now if it wasn't for the two hits at the post.
Shea Patrick scores! Change the plane on Parker Staten on the one-hopper. Central Florida's up a deuce.
Just another breakdown by NC State on the defensive side, but you got to give credit to UCF. They're really controlling possession and taking all the shots, and good shots for that matter.
NC State, sensing a critical time coming in the game, takes time out. We'll take it with them. Central Florida all over the Wolfpack early, 3-1 the score. The Central Florida Knights leading the North Carolina State Wolfpack 3-1 early in this lacrosse contest. League game for both of these two teams. NC State with a win could actually crack the top 5 in this still young season for the SELC, but of course, it's a matter of handling their opponent first, and so far Central Florida has proven to be a worthy foe.
You got to wonder if UCF still has, maybe, even though they lost, they played yesterday, so they could still be kind of in the groove of things.
I'm just curious as to why UCF decided to go north and take on NC State and Elon during their spring break. I could hardly believe that you ever get tired of the gorgeous weather in Orlando as the Knights take the face-off again. Quick speed pass across, cut down by a State defensive stick. That was nearly a goal gift-wrapped on the goalpost. But personally, you got to believe these Florida boys are a little bit out of their element, well below 50 degrees for their average temperature. State turns it over again.
Yeah, I really don't have an answer for that for you, honestly.
Apple for Cordes. All the way across. Here's a chance. Kicked aside. Rebound loose. They scored.
First of all, great pass across the field. Great shot on the first attempt. Great save. And then just the rebound. Nothing the goalie could do about that one. All of a sudden, we have a 4-1 contest, and this one's starting to get a little out of hand here in the first quarter.
The Wolfpack back on their proverbial heels as Central Florida has started out playing absolutely tremendous lacrosse. And the Knights are up 4-1.
You would think that coming all the way up here and being 30 degrees or so that NC State would have the advantage, but the team from Florida dominating so far here.
This UCF team has had an excellent program. And if NC State wants to break through, and they've been on the precipice of doing so for quite some time now, you look at some of the bigger games and bigger wins in program history, beating South Carolina. They've played Florida State close in years past. Buffalo as well. We'll see a flag fly here. That should be a foul on Alexander Ernst as he got his stick a little bit high. So a man advantage situation coming up for NC State as soon as we get the next dead ball. Milton goes across the way. NC State needing a goal in the worst kind of way. Tanner Hudson gives off to a friendly face. Ernst defending nicely on Jesse Melton. Melton steps in, trading places as he hands the ball off. Up to the top, and Nick Davis. Good move into the middle. Davis works in with speed. Has to pass out again toward the middle. Chance for the Wolfpack. They scored! 4-2. And there is an injured Knight right by the goal crease.
He's holding his right knee.
The NC State Wolfpack cut into the deficit at 4-2, but now you've got to keep an eye on Tyler Gunning, a freshman defender from Orlando and Timber Creek High School. And it certainly looks like a lower body concern. Injured players attended to, and we'll step aside with the score Central Florida 4, NC State 2. Welcome back to Raleigh. The injured Central Florida Knight, Tyler Gunning, has been taken back up off the field and being attended to on a sideline now. And Brett, from what we were told from our truck, is that it looked like he took a stick over top the knee and got a pretty good piece of him.
Yeah, I personally didn't see it because I was watching them score the goal. But he was definitely in pain there, holding his right knee, it looked like. But good thing he's walking gingerly to the sideline. So that should be a good sign.
Certainly hope that he's okay over there. Central Florida will get the man they want out there for the face-off. And that'll be Alexander Ernst. South Fork High School in Palm City, Florida. Looking up and down this roster, though, it's absolutely amazing how you've got so many individuals who are coming from Florida. In looking up and down, I can only find one player who is not from the Sunshine State, and that's Daniel Bailey, a junior from Towson, Maryland.
Well, if you lived in the Sunshine State before, why would you want to leave?
To be honest with you, I could not tell you. Ernst running it himself. Turning the corner, and that's the quarter. The NC State Wolfpack with a slow start give up an early lead as Central Florida explodes for 4 goals, and they lead 4-2 at the completion of the first quarter. We'll be right back with second quarter action on PackTV, bringing you into the Pack. Welcome back to Method Road Fields. Drew Blevins alongside Brett Galt here on a chilly evening in Raleigh, North Carolina. Chilly Wednesday. Is that doing it justice?
No, that's not. Chilly is being very nice, actually. What about frigid, freezing?
Well, I know that I'm wearing boots, and I feel like my feet are ice blocks as we start the second quarter here. Central Florida up 4-2.
And I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks, and mine are freezing as well.
Oh, that's okay. We're going to get closer to 70 on the weekend.
I saw that. I was pretty excited about that. I think next week is looking like 70s as well. You never know.
No, this is March, a month of mystery.
We had snow this past Sunday.
In 1 week's time in North Carolina, we went to 79 degrees and then saw snow. It's just been that kind of year.
It's just a big surprise. I mean, really, we haven't had that cold of a winter, though, if you really think about it.
No, and I thought that set things up for a hot summer, meteorologically speaking, of course. Is Central Florida doing a nice job handling the ball, as you saw Andrew Meldrum up close and personal.
This is a big quarter here for NC State, down 4-2. They need to get their spacing and offense going a little more.
Thought Meldrum might have had a shot there that he passed up as he finds Rylan Cordes. Ripped all the way around the perimeter once again. UCF isn't exactly going to bury a ton of goals on you, averaging 10.5 on the season in their 2 games played. So a good mid-offensive team. Good pass into the middle. Mishandled. NC State will take the loose change. Run all the way up and ahead. Christopher Schultz finds his man. This is Miller Barber. Junior from Charlotte. Barber has been a very popular player on this NC State team. He finds Jesse Melton going back up to the top. Kevin Berry, another freshman. Ripped around on the perimeter. State directing traffic. You hear the voice of Chris Demarest echoing from across on the far sideline. Melton goes back up to the top. Berry working off of his man. Ball poked free. Central Florida onto it. They've got it. But a flag. Offside was called, and I believe I never got that information to you. I apologize. Offside on the Knights. NC State retains possession. Is nice that one of our crew members, Connor Dodd, who's working the main camera, former lacrosse player himself in high school. Always nice to have people who know the game surrounding you, of course.
He was calling it from the get-go.
Barber sends it low. He'll get it right back. Melton goes across the way. Barry dumps it off. NC State on this man advantage situation, looking to capitalize best they can. Right by the near side post. NC State still looking for that shot. Here's a chance right to the front. They put it in. Miller Barber finishes 4-3 for the Wolfpack. Camping out on the near side goalpost, and he scores. Tic-tac-toe passing. What a beauty it was.
Well, that's what we're used to seeing with NC State. Good passing, and then great shot by Barber, just kind of cherry-picking right by the goal there.
It's amazing as that offense matriculated, pulling everybody out to the far side of the field. And then Miller Barber just snuck right on the near side post, gets the pass, and buries it. That was with a pretty good effort in net as well from Daniel Harris as he slid over, nearly had himself an excellent save.
Nothing really could do about that one.
NC State right back where they want to be, within a goal at 4-3. Big face-off. NC State had it. But an illegality off the draw. It'll be taken here by Central Florida, and here's the wind.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm almost positive that we will be joined at some point by a third commentator in this, and unfortunately, it doesn't speak in English, but you're going to hear the wind whistling into our microphones consistently. That I can promise you.
Well, I wish that third commentator would go away.
It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Right back behind the net to the front. Chance on the ground. They scored. Excellent passing right back toward the front of the net, and Ryan Gray puts it in 5-3.
NC State defense has just kind of been lackadaisical here in the early going, just kind of standing around.
That's another tremendous passing play as Gray cut himself free through the traffic. The Wolfpack now down by 2, but showing signs of improvement in their game.
The one thing we've seen so far is when NC State scores, though, UCF answers right away. Just kind of cancels things out.
Face off once again at midfield. Brett, I'm starting to be right there with you. I'm kind of hoping maybe that we'll get a miracle of warmth, even if that does mean the cessation of wind.
Well, an update on my toes is I can't feel them right now, so.
I promise you, we do not complain about the weather here at PackTV very often. but this is one of the most memorable meteorological experiences I've ever had calling a game in the out of doors. On the sideline, quality pass to Cordes. He sends it back behind the net and all the way up and ahead again. Central Florida has just executed their game plan better than NC State has thus far. Cordes gets it again, works off a shove, fires an absolute rocket, misses. Great chance there for Central Florida. Rylan Cordes, one of the quickest releases in SELC play. All sorts of trouble here for Gray. Knocked down, ball loose on the ground. Pushing and shoving. NC State's going to get possession here on a shove call.
That's good defense right there by NC State. Couldn't afford another shot and goal by UCF.
All the way ahead of midfield. NC State's turn to establish possession. This is a very resilient Wolfpack group, much to their credit. You've had a chance to really see how they fight against some of the conference's best. Even teams out of their conference, as you harken back to the couple of games we've covered here against the Buffalo Bulls. Behind the net once again. Imagine what it's got to be like to play lacrosse in Buffalo through the season. Sky-high pass. All the way back up to midfield. NC State fighting for it. Hack and whack time. Central Florida comes out with it. Central Florida should keep free possession here.
Buffalo, or lacrosse in Buffalo is probably like this every single night.
Oh, this is probably considered tropical in Buffalo.
Probably more likely snow on the ground instead.
I don't know if you happened to catch this, speaking of snow, but did you happen to see the Atlanta United FC game where they were playing in the snow?
It was coming down as well. I mean, this past week or weekend, a lot of snow was up north.
I mean, the Northeast New England absolutely hammered with snowfall again.
I think like 1.5 feet they were getting up there.
Delaware escaped a lot of the wrath, but there were cancellations across a lot of the Northeast.
Could you imagine if we got that kind of snow?
Oh,
we'd be shut down.
I've lived through it here in North Carolina. December 7th, 2004. What a hit! And this is going to be flagged. Thought it was going to be clean, and now we've seen another flag out on the far side. And I believe that was for drawing back at the official. Wasn't a whole lot wrong with that play. Hard hits aren't necessarily illegal. Tough break for Central Florida, but NC State has an opportunity on their doorstep.
Looks like it was kind of clean hit to me.
I mean, immediately, the Knights fans who have traveled and traveled fairly well, they were upset. Right to be. Two-man advantage for NC State after the flag was flown far side. And this is a great opportunity for the North Carolina State Wolfpack here. Everything will be set into place here as the officials will have a discussion out far side with Chris Demarest. Demarest came up to us, always has a pregame meeting with us here at PackTV. Enjoyable time talking to the coach, but he had said that he had gone all the way down to Elon to scout the Central Florida team last night, and he and his assistant coaches had no bleachers to sit on, and all they had was bodies and a light jacket to shield from the wind.
We're talking about a guy that is very passionate about his lacrosse.
Well, it certainly is. Here's a chance for State. Deflected. Wolfpack had the rebound. Near side. Melton. To the top as Barry rolls it. All the way across for Jesse Melton. The pass was chopped down. State has the ground ball. Twice good defensive sticks from the Knights. Behind the net. Jesse Melton in and out of the head of his stick. NC State's in a little bit of a disarray right now as Nick Davis goes downstairs. Davis fires wide. Good chance for Nick Davis as he cut himself free, available for a shot. NC State maintaining possession to Jesse Melton. Up to the top, rolled around once again. One man back in for Central Florida. Melton holding on to it. State works the perimeter once again. Rolling it around the top again. Melton. Well defended. Barber goes back up for Jesse Melton. NC State lulling Central Florida to sleep, looking for the crossing pass. Didn't have it. They'll go right back to the top. Pace picking up. Melton thought about his shot and turns it back to the top. Melton again for Barber. Barber dances in a little tighter. Melton thought about it. Back for Barber. Shoots, scores! NC State capitalizes on the man-up situation, and they're back to within a goal as Miller Barber has his second of the evening.
You almost didn't know if that was going to be a waste of possession or not because we weren't really taking many shots, but give credit to Barber right there, ripping one in, and NC State, another big goal for the Wolfpack.
Well, now NC State looking to tie the lacrosse match. Hasn't come easily so far for them. Central Florida has been very, very good in the face-offs. They've got Kernodle back out there. NC State does, that is.
You cold?
I'm shivering over here, dude.
My toes actually hurt.
Holding on Central Florida right off the face-off. NC State's possession, and a big one it is. Back behind the net, Miller Barber. He's been the man of the quarter so far. To the top, hack and whack time. Goal here for NC State. Really could spell trouble for Central Florida. Here's a chance, a bouncing shot just wide. Miller Barber starts things from behind the net to Clayton Blackwelder, who finds it. Goes to the top, and Carter Rucker. Walked in by the Wolfpack here. Quick shot. And that might have been influenced by the chasing stick of Alexander Ernst, who has been a defensive force so far for Central Florida.
Couldn't tell if you maybe got a stick on that, which led to the interesting shot, but still State's ball here.
They'll hold possession. Big one for the Pack. Barber rolls out of pressure applied by Zach Price. Blackwelder steps to the side. Blackwelder in space. Dumps it off. Too hot to handle. Ground ball picked up near baseline. Rolls out of bounds. And it'll be NC State's possession. Very tight there on the end line. Miller Barber picks it back up. NC State gotten a couple bounces to go their way. Barber. Good body positioning as Barber tried to bully his way through and couldn't do it.
Not sure how Barber didn't lose that ball right there.
Blackwelder chasing it down, out of bounds. Possession to the Knights. Central Florida sends it quickly ahead just as soon as play began. Looking to establish possession. Rylan Cordes goes back up to the top, and now Central Florida will work it around on the perimeter. UCF hasn't had a good offensive possession in quite some time. Only a single goal so far in the quarter. NC State has really, quote-unquote, woken up the bats It's helped, getting a lot closer than they were. And even though they're still down a goal, Brett, I think they've played a much better second quarter than first.
Oh, there's no doubt they've came out with a little more energy than they were in the first period.
It's good passing by Central Florida, looking for a shot, and NC State's going to get it on a loose ball.
Their defense has been a lot more solid here in the second quarter opposed to the first one. Kind of just standing around a lot in the first one. They were actually moving around and communicating.
Quickly ahead of the line. Excellent speed play made by Devin Johnson.
He's got some wheels on him, doesn't he?
Well, that's exactly why you want him back there, so he can be the guy to make the one-on-one play to get ahead of the midfield stripe. Rolling around. NC State, good body positioning here. Barber in a little bit of trouble. Moves it back up to the top. Miller Barber's another one of those guys you really like to have in one-on-one situations.
Big, tall guy. It's a good job of getting body position.
Melton gets it down. Barber goes back to the front. Good defense by Central Florida. Loose ball in traffic. Might be loose again. Flag flies here. This is going to go against NC State. And a free possession coming for Central Florida. All the way up and a head-to-head man pass to Daniel Bailey. The lone non-Floridian on the team. On the ground. And a timeout called here, I believe. And Central Florida does call timeout indeed, as a couple of their players were looking over and going, whoa, 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 why'd the whistle blow? But Central Florida will regroup. They'll be a man up when we come back out of this break. Timeout Central Florida. They lead NC State 5-4 in the second quarter. We'll be right back after this. Central Florida in a man advantage situation, looking to go back up by 2 late in the first half. 5-4 the Knights leading the Wolfpack. Drew Blevins alongside Brett Galt. Brett, you hanging in there, buddy?
No. My toes hurt.
Quick passing to start things off. Cordes had it and lost it. Loose ball. NC State's got it. Here comes the Wolfpack. What a huge defensive stand for NC State. All the way ahead, it's Cody Stanford. Walks it in and misses wide. What an excellent job by NC State to prevent the initial offensive attack from UCF. The Knights are going to get the ball and another opportunity to keep it rolling. But a good breakup.
It was a good breakup. You almost like to see him just take it back and kind of regroup there, but when you have the numbers like that, there's nothing wrong with going for it.
Wild pass. Gray has it. 2-on-2. Battle for the ground ball. Kicked along here. NC State has it again. A Wolfpack with an excellent penalty-killing effort. All the way ahead, Devin Johnson again.
Just going to say, here's the speedster.
Can tell you his toes aren't cold, that's for sure.
No. Probably on fire right now.
NC State kills the penalty. They're back even. Huge kill for NC State, and we'll see what they look to do here at the end of the half. Handle here by Kevin Berry. Walks in, shoots, great stop! Daniel Harris sticks out the head of his stick, gets a piece of it.
Fantastic save by Harris.
Not only an excellent athletic play individually, but for what it means at this point in the game as Central Florida looking to go into halftime with a lead. Harris walks it up himself as he transitions his team into offense. This is Gray. Rolls it back up to the point. Central Florida killing a little bit more time here late in the half.
Are you shivering over there?
I'm shivering. My teeth are probably going to start chattering, you know.
It's really not funny.
Oh no, it'll be funny when we look back on it. This Cordes takes it again. Sidesteps his man. And I believe we're going to see a penalty call. Here we are. Cordes got the shoulder right into his man. State's ball. Ahead and a little bit too much to handle. Jesse Melton there. Picks it up as Melton. Works his way forward. Whistle blows. Timeout, NC State.
Can't say I'm excited about that.
NC State will talk strategy here late in the first half, looking to tie the game back up. We'll step aside with them on PackTV. Welcome back to Raleigh. Drew Blevins alongside of Brett Galt. 51 seconds remaining here in the second half. Central Florida leading NC State by only a single goal here.
Big opportunity for NC State to tie this one up going into halftime.
Well, and there's a chance to do a little bit more. They scored! Tie game! Jesse Melton camped out in the middle. He scores, and we're back square even.
Big momentum shift right there. And a great call, great timeout.
Well, what I was saying before the goal went in is now you do leave Central Florida just a little bit of time to see if they want to try to make some magic happen. Of course, the goal prolongs everybody going to the halftime break.
I was going to say, as long as they draw something out without a timeout, I'm fine with that.
I wouldn't imagine the Knights would call another one here, although they do have another to burn, of course, should they want to. Of course, first of all, they got to find a way to win this face-off. If NC State wins it, could very well set yourself up for a chance to take the lead. NC State onto the loose ball. Pushing and shoving. Squirts out far side. NC State's got it. What a huge shift in momentum for the Wolfpack. Slash onto the hands. Central Florida is going to get possession. Defensive unit out for NC State. UCF's turn to possess. 30 seconds to go. Into the middle. Jump shot. Scored! What an absolutely outstanding goal from Ryan Gray. And Central Florida retakes the lead.
Just exceptional play by Ryan Gray. Just kind of turned around, just flicked one, and just somehow that went in. I don't even know how he did that.
Just as soon as you thought you were going to go into halftime in a tie lacrosse game, and all of a sudden, Central Florida turns the game back onto its head, and they're up a goal. Wow.
Just, I don't even know how he got it off.
That's a pair of highlight reel goals for Ryan Gray so far this evening. And he is heating it up on this cold, cold night. Rolling ball, State onto it. They've got it. Chance to tie it again as they've got possession. Time winding. Right back up to the top, and the shot never comes off. NC State trailing Central Florida by a single goal as we head into halftime. And look out and don't get trampled as the mass exodus will occur as everybody goes to get warm in their respective vehicles. We'll be right back with the second half of this lacrosse match between Central Florida and NC State after this. Second half lacrosse action from Raleigh, North Carolina. Drew Blevins alongside of Brett Galt. Well, if there's any good news, that I don't think it's gotten any colder.
Well, we just came back from the car, so we did get a little bit warmed up, but we're back out here, and it really hasn't made any difference now.
Central Florida leading by a single goal. Looking to extend as they take over here immediately to start the third quarter. 6-5 the score. UCF largely on the back of Ryan Gray with a stupendous performance here in the state of North Carolina. Of course, at this point, you really do feel like at any point in time these players are going to turn to ice blocks.
I'm surprised we haven't turned yet.
I mean, it is. It's cold. To the middle. Scored! NC State ties it. Miller Barber cuts back inside again. Daniel Harris was way out of the net.
Not sure what Harris was doing there. He wasn't even remotely near.
He was nowhere close.
I could have scored that one.
NC State gets a gift. Back to square one again.
It's a mental mistake by.
I've never seen anything like that. I'm not sure what the goalkeeper was thinking.
I don't even know where he was.
Maybe he was still at the car.
Well, he wasn't in goal, I can tell you that.
NC State with a chance to take the lead. Good defensive stick from back behind as Daniel Ferreira got a stick to it. Central Florida takes over. Good speed forward. This is Zach Price. Running his way through everybody. Price to the middle, loses the ball. Central Florida gets it back to the front. Hack and whack time. State's going to get possession. Whistle blown by the far side official. And just to be sure that we're all on the same page, not to beat the dead horse anymore, but officials most of the time are wearing some variation of striped shirts and shorts, maybe long pants, who know. No, not today. These guys are out here in big, thick, woolly jackets, toboggans or hats that cover their ears, gloves. I don't know if I could do it, Brett.
No, they just look like they're fans right now, honestly, just on the field.
I mean, even the fans here seem like they brought the whole bed suit to wrap up in.
The fans to our left here haven't came back yet.
And there's Central Florida fans, too. Can you blame them, especially if they're Orlando natives? I mean, good grief. Up to the top and around the perimeter a little bit more. Cordes hanging on. He walks in. Cordes looking, shooting one. Good stop by Parker Staton. Catches it right between the legs. And NC State will move it the other direction. Here's the funny thing, Brett Galt, and this is something I'm going to remember. 68 degrees it was on Friday before spring break in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was a gorgeous week in the city of Oaks. There's an absolute monstrous hit laid on. But it was warm all week until snow on Sunday, and then you come back and you hadn't had a spring-like day ever since returning to school, and here we are 3 days into the final part of the year. Flag flies. Man advantage situation coming for Central Florida. It occurred behind the play. Another flag. Shot. Staton scoops it up, and NC State's going to go down too. Central Florida, a gritty little team, and they have gotten under NC State's skin. Uncharacteristic penalties for the Wolfpack.
Well, I don't think they want to come all this way from Central Florida on their spring break to lose 2 back-to-back games. So they're trying their best to claw away at this one here.
I think it was the same player that committed the penalties. UCF is going to go a man up for 2 minutes. A big chance here for UCF to grab the lead back. A strike quick. Shot. Got between the legs of the goaltender. Did it go in? Yes, it did. They scored. Central Florida's back up.
You almost thought Staton had that one right there, but kind of crawled right through his legs, and we're just going back and forth here in this one. Besides the coldness and barely being able to talk and feel your body, it's been a good game.
Oh, there's always silver lining. I didn't initially know if that had gone to the back of the net. I think it just barely crossed over the line without actually hitting any part of the meshing. But Ryan Gray adds another one, and Central Florida leads by a goal again.
We'll see if NC State can answer. They've been able to do so far.
Holding the call. And NC State will take possession, looking to tie it up again. Central Florida, good defensive play. NC State has numbers on the ball, still on the ground. Whistle blew far side. UCF will take control. All the way out wide, turned over. NC State tried to grab possession. Kicked out wide, pushing on Central Florida. NC State's ball.
It's not the pass you want to make right there in that kind of situation.
Wolfpack with a chance to tie as they'll work far side with Jesse Melton in possession. Rolled around to the top. Thomas Galligan works his way in. Galligan had space, passed up the shot opportunity. Good help defense from Patrick Celentano. Far side isolation play. Melton goes down low. It'll be scooped right back up here by Sullivan. Back behind the net. Miller Barber. Pressured lightly by Price. Whistle blew back behind the play, and
I think we had a ball.
that's exactly what we had. Ball in the field of play. Kicked out by the official. We resume. Walk down low. Sullivan goes across the way again. Perimeter passing for NC State. It's been good but not great. You see Nick Davis absolutely manhandled. And UCF's going to take possession. All the way up and ahead. Poor pass. State jumps the line. Doesn't matter. Central Florida gets possession of it. They'll go to Ryan Gray. Adam Hale goes back up to the top, and this is Shea. Tough break for the Wolfpack. Has had a couple of good opportunities to shoot, but this isn't a team that likes to shoot a lot as this one goes well wide. It'll be a Wolfpack possession. New ball coming to play. NC State's going to have to get it out of their defensive zone, which has been most easily handled by Devin Johnson, who's a running back at Cuthbertson High School. Good little give-and-go play and not a whole lot of pressure, as this time it's just sort of walked up lightly. Davis sends it low. He'll get it back. We'll start around the perimeter again.
One thing I'm kind of interested to know is playing in pants has got to be a little hard.
No, when you're used to playing in shorts, of course it is.
Yeah, I mean,
but playing in 35-degree weather is cold all into itself.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in shorts, it's not like you're gonna feel it.
Miller Barber to the front. That pass might have been deflected. Out of the midfield stripe, out of bounds. State will maintain possession. It's been such an evenly matched game, though, Brett. I mean, and the score shows that we really have been back and forth here. Flag flies immediately. State on the verge of a man-up situation.
Like you said, it's pretty much been the silver lining of the whole night. I don't know if we'd be saying that if the score was 11-2 or something like that.
Davis finds Miller Barber retreating. Barber pressured by Price. Barber turning with it. Finds an outlet pass. Good movement by Sullivan. Hound Dog loses the ball for a second. Gets it right back, though. Good move by Sullivan. Works behind the net. NC State's passing just hasn't quite been to the level it normally is. Shot on the backhand. Out of bounds. And here's the penalty. Man-up situation for the Wolfpack here and a chance to tie.
Definitely a good opportunity here. Just Another tie. I mean, we've had how many ties so far? So many lead changes as well.
Well, not technically a lead change. I mean, State's tied it back up on a couple of occasions, but they had the first goal. Central Florida tied it back up, took the lead, and they've been riding the momentum ever since. It's been an entertaining game, to say the least, though, Brett.
It really has. It'd be even more entertaining if it was 70 degrees out.
I'm sure. State thought about a shot. They'll roll down the far side. Pass intercepted. And here comes Central Florida. Out into open space. State picks it right back up, and here come the Wolfpack ahead. Long pass. Connected. Shot! That might have deflected off of Harris, who comes out of his net to grab it. Harris being pressured as he walks it right up. Avoids a hit. Loose ball. It's out of bounds and right into the grasp of Brett Galt. Flag comes in. Unnecessary roughness is going to be the call against NC State. Tanner Hudson.
Was a big hit as well. I apologize. I couldn't get the ball stopped. It's not a very
Well, you
good
are
effort.
chained by the microphone, of course.
Not a very good effort by me, but we'll do better next time.
Hardly expect one here, too. Ball be put into play about 2 paces behind the midfield stripe. Patrick Shea will put it in play. Around the perimeter, good movement here. State starting to wander on defense a little bit. They lost Gray to the front. Chance. The shot never came off. Excellent defense by NC State. To the middle again, shot wide. Staton goes chasing after the loose ball, and he'll have to quickly hustle back into the net. In front, Shea grabs possession after initially bobbling it. Turned around, shot. This is absolutely wild, way wide. Central Florida will hold possession. I mean, you really do see the volume of shots, though, that Central Florida puts onto the net.
You can't fault them for taking so many shots with the man up.
Well, you're going to play with a little bit more reckless abandon here on the road, understanding that you don't want this trip to come to an end without a victory. Back toward the middle. Loose ball as it bobbles on the bunch grass. Good body play here. Take down. And a push on Central Florida will give NC State the ball. Quickly ahead, Devin Johnson. Sullivan rolls it up to the top. Now there's somebody you got to have respect for in Carter Rucker, who's out here in shorts.
I must say, whenever I played soccer, it didn't matter how cold it was, I could never play in pants.
Well, leggings or something. I mean, it is brutal. Capital B. Blackwelder's pass goes off the head of another player's stick. Central Florida will take over. Sort of been a comedy of errors in a passing game for NC State, and that's not something that Chris Demarest likes to promote either. This has been a State team that passes the ball very, very well. But so far, it's been a little bit lacking this evening. Matt Apple walks in. Too many men on Central Florida. State ball. Blackwelder. Quickly forward with it himself. Clayton Blackwelder drifts down and pulls off before moving it back up to the top, and Carter Rucker. He finds Davis out far side, and Brett, it just seems like a couple of these passes just haven't been as accurate as you'd like to have them if you're the NC State Wolfpack.
I honestly think it's the cold, because we really haven't seen this from NC State. They've usually had pretty crisp passes, good movement, and we're just not seeing that tonight. But they're only down 1, so that's the good part about all of it.
Blackwelder to Davis. Nick Davis steps in. Here's a chance. Shoots. Scores! Davis bounces one and it goes top corner. We're knotted up again.
Davis with just a beautiful shot, just a little bouncer right over the keeper of Harris. And once again, NC State responds to tie it up.
You'll take that all day if you're NC State. Clayton Blackwilder goes across for Nick Davis, who scores on a stupendous individual effort. Knotted up even again. Time dwindling here in this third quarter, and we could very well be in for a game decided in the final frame of play. Who knows? NC State has had a certain knack for going into overtime as well. Double overtime, the last two teams. The last time NC State came out against George Washington to end the season last year. We've seen some long ones here in Raleigh. Would you like to have overtime, Brett?
You know, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Down or anything, but no. It's too cold for overtime.
Bonus lacrosse, always fun. Sudden death, of course. Critical to win the face-offs.
I realize whenever I see lacrosse on TV and it's very cold, it's better when I'm watching it inside than out here in the freezing cold.
Lacrosse continually growing across the southeast as well.
It's definitely a fun sport to watch for sure.
To the top, Central Florida, good possession. Turned over, perhaps. NC State's onto it. They've got numbers as it's poked back out toward midfield. Here come the Wolfpack. A good chance for NC State. Brought quickly ahead by Cody Stanford. Turns it back for Sullivan, and State will establish the possession. Good defense from the Wolfpack. We'll see if they can translate it into a goal. Jesse Melton funnels it back up. Stepped in by Tanner Hudson. Goes low, back toward the front. State's really favored going right in front of the goal crease with the pass. It hasn't worked as they would have hoped. A couple passes high. Melton looking for the shot. Dumps it off instead. State having a real nose for the net here in the second half. Good chance. Hudson shoots wide.
Couldn't tell if Harris got a deflection on that or not.
No, it just went wide, I think. I didn't think Harris touched it at all. Melton drops it off again. Nick Davis had the game-tying goal. Rotates back out for Jesse Melton. Worked in here. Good defense. Chance for the Pack to the middle. Shot! Misses. Harris might have got a piece of it. State gets the rebound back toward the front. It's there, but the pass was not. Scoop back up by Daniel Harris. Got a slashing call, and I believe that's on Central Florida. It is. State maintains possession of the ball. 2:06 to go in the third quarter. NC State and Central Florida all knotted up. And it's been a fun one here. To the middle. They score. Oh, baby.
Another river by NC State.
That was unbelievable. Right where Grandma keeps the cookies on the top shelf. 8-7 for the Wolfpack. NC State's first lead since 1-0, Brett.
Yeah, they definitely clawed their way back, but they stayed right with UCF after every goal they scored, and finally they've taken the lead now. We'll see where we go from here now. About under 2 minutes to play.
Central Florida called for being on top of the ball. NC State will get it. Been a whole lot of infractions off the face-off here so far, and that's victimized both teams, but Central Florida is bearing the brunt of it so far. Clayton Blackwelder. Double teamed. He moves the ball back across for Rucker. To the top, Blackwelder's going to get it right back. Sends it across for Sullivan. They'll dance along the end line and go back around the perimeter. Right up at the top. Sent across as Sullivan takes possession. Sullivan back in whack time. Central Florida's going to get the ball. UCF, uncharted territory in the second half at least, as they're looking to tie things up. Matt Apple lost the ball, comes back to get it. All the way down the field. Gray sends it low. He'll get it back. Matt Apple sends it across the way. Good double team on defense. Cordes spins through, shoots, he scores! Tied it up again! Unbelievable play from Rylan Cordes. Wow.
Not sure how Cordes stayed out there. You kind of got pancaked between the two NC State defenders, but somehow got through. And once again, we have another tie.
Just doesn't get a whole lot better than that. Rylan Cordes. Back even, 8-8, in what's turned into a scoring affair. We'll see if we get a clean face-off this time. Scooped up cleanly by Central Florida. Bouncing on the rough grass. Scooped up momentarily. Battle for it continues. Gray had it and lost it. Scooped up by UCF. Whistle blows, and there's the third quarter. It's been an absolute barn burner of a contest as back and forth we've gone here in an ice-cold Raleigh, North Carolina. But it all boils over. The fourth quarter with the score, UCF 8, NC State 8, is next. It's been a good one in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it has the potential to be an instant classic. 8-8 the score as UCF is giving the NC State Wolfpack all they can handle here on their home turf. 35 degrees Fahrenheit. But believe me, the weather has not deterred the players from bringing the heat on the field.
That was a good one. That was good.
It's the little things, Brett Gall. It's the little things. 16 goals, 8 for one side, 8 for the other. We know we'll see at least one more. The question is, when will it come, and will it be in multiples? Face-off is a dead heat. State stepped on the ball. This should be Central Florida ball. It is. Could see that one from right here at our perch. Central Florida with possession. Huge hit! And this will be a push against NC State. Austin Bell a little overzealous as the wind has returned, Brett.
Yeah, of course it would for the final quarter. You know, we really ought to get ourselves a booth here. Maybe like an inside booth.
Maybe a heater would be more practical.
Is that in the budget?
I would hope you can find a heater or hand warmers or foot warmers or something. Good chance here. Adam Hale shoots on. Good stop by Staton. Carried back other direction. Here comes the Pack. They've got numbers if they hurry. Down low. Here's a chance. Barber shoots one. He missed the net. Daniel Harris might have gotten a piece of it with the very top of his stick, but I couldn't tell.
He had a wide open net, it looked like almost. Wow.
That's an excellent stop! Best of the night from Daniel Harris. Central Florida takes over.
It's a fantastic save.
He's had a couple of them so far. He's had a very nice game.
Big hit.
Adam Hale picking it up. He had it. He lost it. State's got it. Sullivan spins out of trouble. Miller Barber back up to the top, and State will slow things down. Meanwhile, Barber all the way up to the top. This is Jesse Melton with it again. Gets around one man as Melton shovels it to the outside. Melton's open again, but stolen away by Central Florida. Up and ahead, good pass. Chance for the Knights if they hurry. Here's the shot over the net. It was a sizzler, too. State will take over.
Just a little high. Had nobody behind the net to go chase it either, which...
That's ultimately what cost him. Staton out for a nice Wednesday evening stroll. He'll just send it ahead. Not particularly sure if this would be the evening to go out for a stroll.
I was going to say.
Chance here for State. They'll work out wide. LSM did not want to shoot that here. Rightfully so, as he was running out of real estate to be able to get a quality launch off on the ball. Melton. Rolls it around. Nick Davis sends it across the way. Behind the net. NC State will hold it. Barber turns, heads for the net. He passes it back out to the top. Davis shoots wide. Central Florida is going to take over possession.
Another good play by Harris to go chase that one down and give UCF some possession.
Pitch black above us. We're illuminated only by the lights here at Miller Field. Warmed only by the heat of the action on the field. Hook and grab by State, uncalled. Central Florida works it back behind the net. Up to the top, Rylan Cordes. Sends it across, and Adam Hale takes it. Moved around up top. Hale will come off as UCF will get a fresh body in. Central Florida with one man carrying the ball, a lot of traffic back by the cage. One-man pressure. Good move by Gray. Been omnipresent so far this game. Matthew Apple sends it along. Carried here by Ian Lucas. Been fairly quiet so far. Lucas got smacked up high, flies this one practically back out onto the road. Was a flag as Lucas took a shot right up in the face mask. This will be a slash and a man advantage situation for Central Florida.
Big opportunity for Central Florida here to regain the lead. At this rate, we might be looking for overtime.
Don't say that, Brett.
As you're shivering right here.
Hale's going to get the ball. Bounces a pass. A little wild. State will chase it down. It stays in the field of play. Central Florida on top of it. Hack and whack time. The Knights take it again. Back to Hale. He'll reset to Cordes. Sent low, back up top. Hale had it and lost it. Free rolling ball that Gray will take care of himself. In and out of the cross of Cordes. Picked back up by Central Florida. Meldrum to the top. Cordes. Hale thought about his shot to Meldrum. Low. Great passing. The shot is wide. The rebound is loose. Central Florida onto it again. To Hale. Shoots. Great stop by Staton. State survives the initial rush. They're back even. Great chance for Central Florida. Adam Hale was stoned by Parker Staton. Big shoes to fill in the NC State net after losing Brady Edwards, the senior goaltender. In front, Gray shoots wide. Didn't matter. Whistle was blown before. State's going to get possession. So the Wolfpack not only kill off the penalty, but now they're going to get possession. But we'll see timeout called here. NC State wants to talk about it. Knotted up even at 8-8. We've got a barn burner of a finish on the way at PackTV. Out of the timeout, it's NC State's ball. And a huge opportunity here, Brett Galt. I mean, this is one that, as you go into the middle and latter stages of this fourth quarter, you really do not want to take this team to sudden death.
Well, last time, the timeout last quarter, they came out with the goal, so we'll see if the coach drew up another good play here.
Well,
Devin Johnson, my goodness.
I mean, Devin Johnson. He's going to be an unsung hero, but he's done an excellent job being the clear guy. One of his former teammates, Connor Dodd, now employed by PackTV, here with us tonight and explained that even as a teammate of his, that's all Johnson did. Former running back, as we told you earlier in the broadcast.
You can see why. Got some blazing speed.
Miller Barber backs out of pressure. He'll go one-on-one on Price. Barber still hanging on to it. Shoots! I think that might have ricocheted off the noggin of the defender. Loose ball, State's got it. Wolfpack defenders stand watching. Chance wide. State will hold possession. All the way out to the top, and Jesse Melton. Intensity Mountain. Taken back by Central Florida. Turned over by the Wolfpack. Here comes UCF. Down the field, and they'll set things up again. Gray. To the top. Central Florida holding. They'll look. Good rotation here as they get the ball where they want it. Back behind the net, Central Florida will get the offensive unit they want out. To the top, now across for Apple. Apple shoved once. Pressured, has to back out of trouble. Goes across the way and finds Tyler Baggett. Behind the net once more. Good pressure. Chance in front, ricocheted off of Staton. He'll go chase it. Good goaltending by the NC State sophomore Parker Staton. In toward the front, poor pass on the ground. Who's got it? Flung back out toward midfield. Apple, with a little time, he's got to have a clean scoop, and he does, but it went out of bounds first. NC State is going to get the ball. Poor turnover by UCF. State nearly gave it right back. Across the field. The shot. Good stop by Harris. It's a quick possession for NC State. I wonder if Bailey Quinn really wanted to shoot that one.
Wasn't a bad shot, just I'm with you, take a little more possession and open things up a little bit. It gives UCF another opportunity here.
Long pass turned over. Harris can't help his own cause.
Guess who?
Here he comes again, Devin Johnson. He's rocked. Loose ball picked back up by Central Florida. Here they come. They've got numbers. Carried ahead. Chance to the front. The shot. They scored! And UCF gets the lead back at 9-8.
Just a big hit on Devin Johnson on the other side, and they just went forward and regained the lead once again. But we'll see if NC State can answer. They've been able to do so far.
NC State has answered the bell every time that it has been rung so far. It rings now the loudest, and it's the moment most serious.
We say we've got about, what, 5 minutes or so left? A little under?
5:23 remaining. Good call, Brett.
Yeah, I was just a little bit off.
So NC State, of course, does have time to try to score an equalizer. But faceoffs have not been the Wolfpack's strong suit. Kicked out into open space. Central Florida chops down the loose ball, but State picks it up. That's a clutch play to start things off. Miller Barber rolling with the ball here. Barber takes a quick shot in the back. Juggling the ball. Good stick work here. Zach Price right on top of him. Price being assigned to Barber. You don't want to say he's nullified Miller Barber because that hasn't been the case. He scored, but Price has played good defense.
He's definitely put solid defense on him. I mean, Barber's a guy that's always going to get a couple shots off in the first place. But
Melton works and scores! We're tied again! Jesse Melton, 9-9.
And once again, they responded once again. Just back and forth we go here.
NC State finds a way. So we've just been guaranteed we'll see another goal.
We might see a couple more.
Oh, at this rate, who knows what we could see. This has not been the full-scale war, one-sided. It's been a battle-by-battle affair. A flag against Central Florida off the face-off. It's the third violation at midfield. State's going to go a man up. NC State's going to get possession. Man advantage situation for the Wolfpack.
Big opportunity here.
They'd love to be able to turn the tide back onto Central Florida. Around the perimeter, Jesse Melton thought about his shot. Loose ball. UCF's got it. Huge hit. Flag flies. And it's going to go against the Wolfpack. Central Florida's going to get possession off the push. And pretty clear call. Central Florida will get possession. I believe it's going to be Zach Price to put it into play. Go right back across, pardon. You'll move back across midfield off the flag. "30 seconds on the pushing infraction against the Wolfpack. Knights needing a goal to take the lead again. Shot immediately. Staton handles it with ease. Brett, that looked a little bit forced.
It did. I would like to see them kind of possess the ball a little bit, but here's another opportunity for NC State.
Quickly ahead, here comes the Wolfpack. Into space, Sullivan shoots! Great stop by Harris! The goaltender's getting in on the action. And back the other way we go. Central Florida carrying it ahead. They'll establish everything.
Harris has been fantastic. Actually, both goalies have been. Staton's been just as good.
Staton's been tested a fair amount, too. Running around the perimeter.
About 3 minutes to go here.
Andrew Meldrum will work it back up top for Patrick Shea. Shea holding and looking. Nicely defended. It's got Devin Johnson right onto him. Shea sends it across. Here's a shot. Scored! 10-9 for the Knights. Andrew Meldrum, the senior from Merritt Island, gives Central Florida the lead.
What a ripper that was from Meldrum. My goodness. Staton didn't really have a chance at that one.
10-9.
The question is, will NC State be able to respond? They've been able to do so far.
Oh, it's been an absolute treasure of a lacrosse match. NC State needing one to tie and extend the game. Into the circle, pulled back here by Central Florida. They've got possession, and Brett, that's a huge face-off win.
It's gigantic. It's about 2 minutes or so left.
All the way ahead. Back around the perimeter, Rylan Cordes.
Wow.
To the top.
That was a little dangerous right there.
Turnover there would have been really bad for Central Florida. Got to be careful to avoid stalling here, too. Cordes in out of the crosshead. State right onto it. Cordes spins out of trouble. Walks in. He shoots. Staton's there.
Good opportunity for NC State now.
Staton avoids the one-man pressure. Throws it out into space. State at the stripe. They've got it. Out far side, and here we go. Good job by Parker Staton to break the pressure.
About a minute and a half left.
Here comes the pack. Driving in front. Sullivan trying to do it himself. Looking in front. The pass stretched too far. Central Florida scoops up the loose ball. Here comes UCF. Diving at midfield. Excellent effort. Can't fault anybody there. Flag flies. NC State might have been caught offside.
1 minute left, Drew.
Minute to go. Desperation time, and NC State's going to go a man down at the next dead ball. Ball on the ground. Loose. State picks it up. Now the flag enforced. NC State in bad need of a turnover. Central Florida is staring a victory right in the face if they can finish this one off. This would be a huge win for the Knights. Minute to go in regulation play. Brett, this has been an absolute joy to cover.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Back and forth action. It's just been really fun to watch.
Central Florida will probably just look to play perimeter lacrosse. Precious seconds ticking away on the NC State Wolfpack. Ball's on the ground. NC State looking to grab possession. Still rolling. State can't find a way to get it. Central Florida takes it back. Staten out of his net. Charges at one of the night's players.
Timeout, I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I didn't think there was going to be an infraction called. There wasn't a lot there to call, but Central Florida is going to call timeout, and we'll stay right here with you through it, Brett. We have seen these two teams battle back and forth, and right now it's Andrew Meldrum's goal that is the difference.
Yeah, it's been a treat to watch, as you mentioned. Even in the frigid cold, can't feel anything. It's been back and forth lacrosse, and it's been really fun to watch. NC State's been able to usually fight back and equalize, but I don't know if there's enough time right now to do so.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to get possession first.
There's about 45 seconds or so left.
So we go ahead and take a look at the standings in the northeastern part of the SELC. Clemson leading the way and at 8-1 record. South Carolina undefeated 4-0. Elon at 4-2. NC State with a win would have hopped them, but a loss, and they'll stay right there in fourth with East Carolina bringing up the rear at 0-5. Meanwhile, for Central Florida, they are playing in a tough division in the Southeast. Florida State leading the way at 7-0. That's number 7, Florida State. Florida receiving votes, also undefeated. UCF at 1-1, Miami 1-3, and South Florida at 0-5. Those are the standings as of now. A win here for both sides would look huge, but right now Central Florida is still trying to do their best at least to battle ahead of the Gators and the Seminoles, and Florida State is very, very good. Of course, right now, number 1 in the land also residing in the SELC. That's the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Back even. To the top. Central Florida rolling perimeter. State looking for the turnover. Now starting to man up on D. Back behind the net. Ball on the ground. Pick back up. And there's the game. Central Florida surrounds the goalkeeper. And what a dandy of a lacrosse match it was as Central Florida hangs on, prevailing over NC State 10-9. Brett, that's one of the better matches we've seen so far, but for NC State, they come out on the wrong end of another close one, falling to 3-2 on the season.
Well, I mean, this game had it all. It had great goaltending, great offense, great shots, great defense, but at the end, UCF just came out with a little more firepower at the beginning. We saw back-and-forth action with NC State being able to respond, but in the end, UCF got the last goal.
Central Florida improves to 2-1 on the season as they will continue their play throughout the SELC Southeast. Meanwhile, the NC State Wolfpack fall to 3-2. Both of the NC State losses coming by only a single goal. Signing off for the rest of our crew, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you from a frigid Raleigh, North Carolina. The final score, the Central Florida Knights 10, the North Carolina State Wolfpack 9. For Brett Galt, I'm Drew Blevins. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.